An Australian man and his dog were finally rescued after spending 3 months drifting in the Pacific Ocean. Deveh Suarez gives us more on the story.
Timothy Lindsay Shattuck and his canine companion Bella were supposed to embark on an exciting journey when a storm destroyed their vessel and caused them to be stranded at sea for months. A Mexican fishing boat rescued them from the ocean after facing a very difficult ordeal at sea for months. The boat crew provided the pair with medical attention, food and water after they were recovered in a precarious state without any food and shelter. The amateur sailor and his dog were supposed to travel a distance of about 3,700 miles from the coastal city of La Paz in Mexico to French Polynesia in April, when the catamaran named Aloha Toa was severely damaged by a storm and wiped out its electronics. Shattuck said they survived the ordeal by drinking rainwater and eating raw fish caught with their fishing gear while stranded in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The Australian man thanked his rescuers and expressed his gratitude for being saved from such a distressing situation along with his dog. Shattuck and his dog arrived at the port of Manzanillo on the Pacific coast of Mexico on Tuesday. Reporting from New South Wales, this is Deveh Suarez, SMNI News, Australia.
Earlier Wednesday, North Korea fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles towards the Sea of Japan. More details from Natsumi Kojima.
Following the recent nuclear consultative group meeting between the United States and South Korea, North Korea test-fired another 2 short-range ballistic missiles near the Sea of Japan. The missile test that was launched between 3:30 and 3:46 a.m. Wednesday was North Korea's apparent response to the recently conducted first meeting of the Korea-US Nuclear Consultative Group, or NCG, held Tuesday, July 18th, at the office of the President in Seoul, just days after North Korea launched a solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile towards the Sea of Japan. The talks were participated by Kim Tae-hyo, South Korea's principal deputy national security advisor, and Kurt Campbell, coordinator for Indo-Pacific affairs on the U.S. National Security Council, where the 2 leaders agreed to conduct joint military drills and war simulations to deter North Korea from using nuclear weapons. The Nuclear Consultative Group is a consultative body that was launched and agreed through the Washington Declaration announced last April at a bilateral summit, in which both countries share information and discuss measures to counter North Korea's nuclear threat. Japanese Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada disclosed that the 2 projectiles fell outside Japan's exclusive economic zone, 370 kilometers from its coastline. Furthermore, Yasukazu Hamada added there were reports of damage to aircraft nor ships, and that a protest to North Korea's provocation was set through a diplomatic channel. 以上日本から小島のツーミーニュースお伝えしました。SMNI News, Japan.
NATO member Hungary opposed the plan of delivering weapons to Ukraine to aid the said country in its fight against Russian forces. Carlo de la Peña for the rest of this report.
Hungary expressed opposition to any weapon deliveries to Ukraine and especially stands against the use of cluster munitions. According to Hungarian Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó, the solutions must come at the negotiating table and not on the battlefield.
Generally speaking, we are against the usage of such weapons because they are extremely dangerous and they can put the lives of civilians at risk very badly. So it's not an accident that we have joined the global initiative to ban the cluster bombs. So we are absolutely not happy with the decision of the United States in this regard, and we do see it as a decision which can bring further suffering and further casualties. More generally speaking, we definitely don't like any weapon deliveries to Ukraine.
The Hungarian foreign minister stated that the more weapons are sent to Ukraine, the longer the conflict will last and the higher the number of deaths and injuries will be. He also emphasized for concerted efforts to bring about a ceasefire and called on all sides involved to resolve the crisis through negotiations, not through fighting.
We don't see any battleground solution. We only see solution around the negotiating table. We only see the diplomatic solution. There's no solution on the battlefield, but there are casualties on the battlefield. The more days, the more casualties. So therefore, we should stop that. We should stop that for all.
It can be remembered that the US in early July announced that it will deliver cluster munitions to Ukraine as part of the $800 million, a decision which has elicited sharp criticism worldwide, not least from Hungary. Reporting, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
The BRICS summit is set to take place in South Africa in August, and amid speculations, South Africa announced that Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend the summit. The details with Jane Kudnita.
The office of South African President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend the BRICS summit leaders set to take place in Johannesburg, South Africa in August. A statement released by the office of the South African president on Wednesday said, quote, "By mutual agreement, President Vladimir Putin of the Russian Federation will not attend the summit, but the Russian Federation will be represented by Foreign Minister Mr. Sergei Lavrov." Russia, on the other hand, has yet to confirm South Africa's statement. It can be remembered that the office of Russian President Putin said no final decision has been taken regarding his plans for the BRICS summit. The BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the fast-growing economies of the world, and the event in August would be the first face-to-face gathering of BRICS leaders in several years. Talks on whether Putin will attend the summit has been looming for months, as South Africa is a member of the International Criminal Court, or the ICC. The said body issued an arrest warrant for Putin over his alleged role of kidnapping Ukrainian children, to which Russia has rejected, saying that such charges are politically motivated and misrepresenting the evacuation of Ukrainian children from the conflict zone. It can also be remembered that South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday warned that the ICC arrest warrant for Putin would amount to a declaration of war against Russia, and that it would be inconsistent for the South African constitution to risk engaging a war with Russia, and the move would also fail his duty to protect his country. As an ICC signatory, South Africa is obliged to help in Putin's arrest, noting that the South African president has long sought to quit the said international body. Ramaphosa has resisted immense pressure from the United States to condemn Russia over the conflict in Ukraine by maintaining neutrality, and said that the expansion of NATO triggered the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. South Africa's leading opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, on the other hand, demanded that the government arrest Putin and turn him over to the ICC once he sets foot in the country. Russia, meanwhile, is not a party of the Rome Statute that established the ICC. The Kremlin has said that the ICC has no authority against Russia. Reporting, this has been Jane Kudnita, SMNI News.